Although it's a predominantly black cemetery, the historic Evergreen Cemetery is a resting place for many notable people across different ethnic and socioeconomic groups. For today's Living History, we're learning more about 10 men that are buried there.
The first burial here was actually in 1900, which was a little widowed white lady, and her name was Nettie Roach. And the original pathway to the cemetery led to her grave. But since then, it's been, we've had Hispanic people that have been buried here, a person of Native American descent. We've had people that belong to the Mosaic Templars of America, which is a black group. We've had veterans. Jerry Lloyd served in the Indian Wars. He was a private who was born in 1855 in Tennessee. And then he decided to enlist in the U.S. Army. All of our Buffalo soldiers were regular U.S. Army soldiers. So he enlisted in the 10th Cavalry in 1877, and he was sent to Texas. And he served in our western Texas forts for 10 years. And then he was eventually discharged from the Army at Fort Grant in Arizona in 1887 with good character. And then he moved around a bit and finally settled in Beaumont after the turn of the 20th century and lived out the remainder of his days here and died in 1922. Sergeant Shaw was born in 1894 in Hardin County in Village Mills. Then he moved to Beaumont. He enlisted in the Army, and he was sent to Illinois and joined the 370th Infantry and was sent to France with Company A and served all across eastern France with Company A and eventually ended up in the Oisin offensive in the Argonne Forest, where an enemy shell exploded in his camp and killed 35 soldiers, including Sergeant Shaw. He was killed on November the 3rd, 1918, mere days before the end of the war on November the 11th, 1918. So he was originally buried in France, as so many of our soldiers were during that First World War that we had, and his body was later sent home back in 1921. Their efforts to continue to preserve the cemetery have continued, and they want nothing more than the stories of the people that live here to continue to be told.
Now, Hambright says they hope to continue to uncover the stories of the many people that are resting there.